Hey guys, I'm back once again with a tips video, and well, I want to work out, who counters who, and I want everyone else to know that. So if you're ever, in a duel, so we'll start with Vader. Now, anyone on the light side, Luke can put up a fight against Vader. Rey can as well. Same with Anakin, but none of them really counter him. Even Yoda's probably can put up the best fight, but he's still not a counter him. I'd say the only counter Vader is Obi-Wan. So that's about it. Vader's just very overpowered, even without cards, you know. Obi-Wan, without his regen, he's the only one who can best Vader. Kylo. He has the most counters in the game, which is what makes Kylo, in my opinion, the worst lightsaber hero. Of course, I'm better with Kylo than I am with Grievous, but I've seen Grievous utilized in much better ways than I have Kylo. So, Luke can easily best Kylo. Luke has stronger attacks, and he's just as versatile, and he has that rush as well. He can use his abilities mid-air, same as Kylo, and his can be arguably more useful at times. You pull with Kylo, they can fly off. Luke, the same thing can happen with the push, but it's probably less likely. So, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Luke counters Kylo. Rey counters Kylo. Kylo can't really land anything if the Rey is like even a little bit cautious. Okay, because everyone has the star card on Rey where she gets an extra dodge. Okay, because it's a must-have. That's just how it is. So, anytime Kylo wants to do a frenzy, Rey will just dash attack. Anytime Kylo wants to freeze or pull or maybe even hook swing, Rey can just dodge out of the way with her 3 dodges. So Kylo cannot at all touch Luke or Rey. And even if they do, Luke may have low regen, but his attacks are just as strong, and he's going to go blow for blow. And even with frenzy and its damage reduction, it wouldn't matter. Luke will still win. Yoda, probably the worst odds in the game. Like, Yoda counters Kylo very, very hard. It's not even funny. It's like, so the pull and the freeze, they can just be, absorbed by Yoda, used into a force push. Yoda can have the 3 dash attacks, and it can just cut through Kylo's block. If he tries to frenzy, Kylo can just pull. Well, no, if he tries to frenzy, Yoda can just push him away, get some lunges in there, and another dash attack. And Yoda versus Kylo, probably the worst odds in the game. If you ever been through it, I honestly feel sorry for you. Who's next? This is just the lightsaber heroes, by the way, none of the blaster heroes. Obi-Wan counters Kylo. Obi-Wan has the most defensive stamina in the game. He will parry Kylo because Obi-Wan is just absolutely just a parrying machine when you use him right. Kylo may have the most offensive stamina in the game, but Obi-Wan has the most defensive stamina, and he has defensive rush along with restricted mind trick. Now, Kylo, his abilities are on cooldown for a long time already, but plus that Obi-Wan restricted mind trick, and Obi-Wan having just as much stamina and defensive rush, hard counters. Anakin, I'd say out of all of them, Anakin counters him probably the least, but he still can put up a fight, and he still does counter Kylo. Kylo can frenzy, Anakin just heroic might, pulls, hits him once or twice, passionate, and of course, you're at like 3 hits or 2 hits now with Kylo. So that won't be good. Kylo tries to pull, Anakin can just block, and while you're still in the air with Kylo, he can just pull you and heroic might you, or both. Or vice versa. And just wouldn't matter, same with the freeze. So, yeah. Kylo, honestly, something good about Kylo, his hook swings are very fast. He's very versatile, a lot like Luke, but he's not as strong as Luke, and he rarely lands an attack with his abilities, but when he does, you'll love him for it. So, Luke. Now, who counters Luke? Probably Vader, of course. You know, Vader's Vader. Been through this already. Kylo honestly doesn't. You know, we've been through this as well. Kylo can put up a fight, but all the Luke has to do is just parry, double parry, rush, force push, repulse, even with epicenter as well. So yeah. Maul is basically the most average. So his attacks, they're fast, they're just as fast as Luke's, but they're not as strong as his. Now, Maul's regen, it's higher than Luke's. Luke's regen is low, Maul's regen is medium. But you see, Maul's attacks are medium, but Luke's attacks are strong, so it's kind of, you know, it's an imbalance. So a Luke could honestly beat the Maul. The Maul he's not as versatile as the Luke in terms of his abilities. He has the spin attack, but it can be easily parried. The throw is probably what's best going from the chokehold. You're in a long animation, and you're anchored to the ground while doing it. So he's very fast. He's just as fast as Luke, but he can't move around the battlefield using his abilities like Kylo or Luke, can he? Grievous. I'd say no. Grievous doesn't count Luke. If anything, Luke counts Grievous. Because, you know, strong attacks, Grievous love to bunny hop, and if you time it right, Luke can get some real damage in there. Because Luke has actually the second strongest attacks on the light side. I think Anakin's attacks are actually the strongest base attack damage. But yeah, the Grievous, tournament rolls, you know, they're allowed beating heart, I think cowardly retreat as well, but they're not allowed flesh is weak. So that can be really, really useful for Luke. You know, if a Grievous tries to counter or bunny hop, as long as you got those parries in there in time, you should be fine. Dooku, honestly, Dooku counters Luke. He counters Luke hard. Now, Dooku, of course, you can't use Sith Control in tournament rules, so what I like to do Finesse, Masterful Duelist, and Initiative. So more damage with Duelist, you know, less stamina drain when blocking and attacking, and the critical hit every 15 seconds. There's another one where you can do, what? It's like this. No, where is it? Here it is. So, even more damage with Duelist, even more damage with Dominance, even more critical hit basically. I believe I'm actually able to 3-shot someone with this. Because it's just that powerful. You know, every 15 seconds you get a critical hit, activate Duelist, put exposed weakness on them, more damage for both, and get the critical hit. It's pretty good. And that's why Dooku counters Luke. Because Luke doesn't have that high of a regen. I mean, sure, he can attack strong, but Dooku can attack just as strong. And Dooku's regen, I think it's the second highest in the game. Right next to Obi-Wan's. And, oh yeah, I mean, Dooku's are fast. They have very fast attack speed as well, which can even lead them up to getting 2 hits in there, which is even more bad for the Luke. So he does counter Luke. So, moving on to Darth Maul. As I said before, Luke counters Darth Maul because Maul's attacks are average, but Luke's attacks are strong. Rey, I'd say it's pretty even between Maul and Rey, but I'd say I give Maul the edge. Because, well, how do I say this? Maul can use his lightsaber throw when Rey's doing a dash. When Rey does her dash, he can also spin attack, getting a hit in there. She also gets a hit, but unless she has, the damaging strike card, she's probably not going to do any real damage. And the spin attack, because Maul spin attack and then got hit by it, he's just going to fly away and she's not going to get any follow-up hits. So, Rey's dash, it can just be parried in some cases, hit twice with the lightsaber throw, because they'll probably still be in the animation. And if you just want to play it safe, you can throw the lightsaber at them and then spin attack, getting 3 free hits, and still remaining safe by flying across. Because, you know, it ragdolls you, but you're spinning. So, yeah, I'll have to go with Maul counters Rey. or it's tied. I don't know. Let's see. Maul and Obi-Wan. Honestly, if there's like, if it's a really patient Obi-Wan, yeah, I'm pretty sure any Obi-Wan will just win. The lightsaber throw, Obi-Wan already has high regen. You try and spin attack, you probably get parried once or twice. The chokehold, he'll just restrictive mind trick you or defensive rush you, and yeah, I'd say Obi-Wan counts as Maul pretty hard. Anakin and Maul. Anakin certainly has strong attacks, but he doesn't have stamina. Now, Darth Maul, he has a lot of stamina. If Anakin's out of his abilities, Maul can unload on him and just use like all of his abilities, the vertical throw, the spin attack, the hit, and because Anakin's so low on stamina and no abilities, what's he going to do? You know, all he has is his dodges. He's only got 2, hasn't he? On the other hand, Anakin, when Maul spin attacks, he can get some hits in there. He could get heroic might, he could get a pull, and that's very deadly for the Maul. So, I'd say they're tied. Maul and Anakin, they're probably tied with each other. Now, moving on to Rey. Rey and Vader, she can put up a fight, doesn't counter him though. Rey and Kylo, she counters him pretty hard, because, you know, the only thing Kylo can get on her is Frenzy. You know, she has 3 dodges, she's just gonna dodge his pull, dodge his freeze, and when he tries to Frenzy, she can just dash strike him. The dash strike and the Frenzy, they have the same recharge time. So whenever they use Frenzy, you use dash right back, and then bam, you're both on cooldown. Whenever your dash is back, you know that Frenzy's back. And you gotta be prepared for it. So Rey doesn't counter Vader, but she counters Kylo. Rey and Maul. Yeah, we just been through this. Maul has a slight edge over Rey. Rey and Count Dooku. It could go either way, but honestly, I'd say the Rey has the upper hand. Because, well, actually no, they both have 3 dodges. Dooku has his duelist, his exposed weakness, and his lightning stun, but Rey has like damaging strike, insight, and mind trick. Mind trick can be utilized, but Dooku has like 3 dodges. I don't think you're gonna hit him during that. The insight, it doubles your stamina, and your stamina comes right back anyway. The damaging strike, I mean, it could honestly go either way. Dooku could easily get a lot of hits in there with his duelist and exposed weakness, but Rey could also, you know, get the, you know, the dash in there. So I'd say it's even between Rey and Dooku. Yeah, pretty even. Moving on to Yoda. I'd say he can put up a fight against Vader. Not exactly counter him, but he's honestly very close to countering him. Yoda, he can dash a bunch of times. Vader, of course, can parry these, but you know that just becomes predictable after a time. Anytime Vader wants to choke, you just pop presence and then you get out of him. So that's pretty easy. Lightsaber throw, Yoda's small in stature, so he's harder to hit. Well, yeah, you gotta wait on presence, because I think presence and choke, they have around the same cooldown as well. So yeah, just wait on your presence, because if you pop the presence, Darth Vader has free reign to use his choke whenever he wants on you for that amount of time until you get it back. The dash attack, of course, it cuts through blocks. If there's like a Vader and he's like turtling, that'd be very helpful. The push, if he's trying to jump away and regain stamina, because that's the only way I've seen Vader regain stamina, Yoda and his lunges, they will catch up to Vader if he's on the ground, trying to regain stamina. So he's going to have to jump, and the unleash, it can get them. And then you can get more follow-up hits. So, yeah. You know what? I'd say Yoda is just slightly a counter to Vader. Kylo Ren versus Yoda. Yoda counters Kylo Ren the hardest out of anyone. Anyone in the entire game, Yoda counters Kylo Ren the hardest. I think I've already discussed this, but well, yeah. I mean, what's Kylo actually supposed to do? You know, hook swinging. You know, I'd say it's harder for Yoda. He is smaller. Even if his hook swings are very fast, he can try and pull, he can try and freeze, but the Yoda's just gonna block and absorb it, which will help in his push later. Yoda, of course, can like dash through. Kylo Ren tries to frenzy, he can just push and get to even more hits. So yeah, pretty good. Yoda and Maul, I'd say Yoda has the edge. You know, Yoda's got health and he can cut through blocks, but Maul, what can he do, you know? Maul versus Yoda, he's probably going to be stuck in the animation for a while. Unless he staggers the Yoda, he's not going to get a chokehold on him. Or he catches him jumping and getting the presents, because everyone just jumps with presents to get the cooldown. Or the animation, or whatever. Maul does have his lightsaber throw, but again, it's harder to hit Yoda because he's smaller. The spin attack, Yoda can easily counter it and then dash attack into another hit. So yeah, I'd say Yoda beats Maul. Yoda and Dooku. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably like the second worst combination in the game, right next to Yoda and Kylo. But instead of Yoda absolutely beasting Kylo, it's Dooku absolutely beasting Yoda. Yoda, if you don't know, has the slowest attacks in the game. Okay? Slower than Vader's, certainly slower than Luke's, slower than Kyle's, slower than Grievous's. Okay? Now Dooku, he has the fastest attacks in the game, okay? He's faster than Maul's attacks, and he's faster than Kylo's frenzy, okay? Plus that with his critical hit, his duelist, his lightning, and his exposed weakness, it's deadly. And his attacks are so fast that if a Yoda misses an attack, Dooku can capitalize on it and get 2 free hits in there, and if one of them's a critical hit, well, you're guaranteed to lose perma health. So Yoda versus Dooku, if you're the Yoda, good luck, but you're probably not going to win, because he's just that slow. I mean, exposed weakness just nullifies everything to do with presence. You know, presence gets your health, and exposed weakness just takes that right back away. Duelist, you know, Yoda, you can try and parry it, but if you mess up even for a second, like let's say you hit him and he wants you to parry him but you don't, and then he parries you, and imagine he's just swing spamming, and you're trying to like keep up parrying, and then he stops, and then you thinking he's going to do it again swings, he can easily just melt it down within an instant. So yeah, Yoda gets countered by Dooku pretty hard. I think I missed Grievous, didn't I? Yoda versus Grievous, it's the same as Yoda versus Vader, but probably more. Because Grievous puts up a better fight against Yoda than Vader does. Vader's too clunky. Grievous is actually like very versatile. He has the thruster, he has the claw rush. Unrelenting advance, it can be helpful in some situations too. The bunny hops, so yeah, I'd say Grievous completely just dominates Yoda. Not as bad as Dooku, but still, it dominates him. Moving on to Grievous. Again, Luke kind of counters Grievous, strong attacks, as long as you watch out for the parries. Honestly, if you don't, and you're Luke, you have low regen, and it won't work out. But, yeah. You could do the rush glitch as well. You could rush glitch and hit him from the side, which would be even more of a counter. So yeah, Luke does actually counter Grievous. Rey, I wouldn't say Rey counters Grievous. I'd say they're pretty even. But probably the edge to Grievous, because, you know, she can do the dash strike, he just does the claw rush, and then, you know, they run out. Grievous's abilities, they come back fast. Rey's dash by itself comes back fast. And it's just going to go like that, blow for blow. And without Rey's dash, I mean, is she really that good? Her stamina is good, and it comes back fast, sure, but other than that, you know, what then? You just, you know, taken away her trump card by that. So yeah, I'd say Grievous does counter Rey. Grievous and Yoda just went through it. Yoda just gets clapped. That's it. Grievous and Kenobi. He has just as much regen as Grievous, because Grievous is allowed the beating heart. So, yeah, that puts them both up at 300. Grievous has stronger attacks, but a lot less stamina. Obi-Wan can counter all this. Defensive rush. I mean, if Grievous is out of stamina and Obi-Wan pops Mind Trick, yeah, he's basically done for. I mean, sure, he can jump around, but he'll just come right back down. Obi-Wan with defensive rush, he's guaranteed to hit him once, dodge back, maybe even force push him. And, well, yeah. No, Grievous' stamina might be a lot better than Anakin's, even with his Sith trained star card, but Obi-Wan's, yeah, just better. Moving on to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, probably the only one who can counter Vader, truly. But, you know, Yoda maybe. Maybe Yoda will be able to, but I'd say Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, I'd say Obi-Wan probably counters Kylo pretty hard. Because if the Obi-Wan just wants to, like, hold block and just hurtle, there's nothing that Kylo can do. There honestly isn't. Restrictive Mind Trick? Well, what are you supposed to do? You can't use Frenzy. I mean, sure, you can hook swim, but you know he's just going to turn around and counter you and hit you twice. Then go into his own defensive rush. And by that point, you've just lost a bunch of health. And the same thing will happen again. Now, most Obi-Wans, you know, they're very, very defensive. There will be some that are very ferocious and, you know, attack you even when they shouldn't. And, well, yeah, in either case, they still beat Kylo. So that's it. Maul, Obi-Wan easily counters Maul. You know, it's just, yeah, too high regen. Maul, he's the type of guy to chip away, okay, and use combos. You know, lightsaber throw, hook swing, spin attack. There are no real, like, damage, like high damage one hits are there, because he's just average. He's not good, but he's not bad. But Obi-Wan, his attacks are alright, but his regen is probably his biggest strength. He can also Mind Trick, which just disables Maul's abilities, along with Defensive Rush. So yeah, Obi-Wan counters Maul. Obi-Wan Grievous, we've already been through that. Obi-Wan and Dooku. Honestly, I'd say Obi-Wan probably has the edge, even with 3 dodges. Obi-Wan can just Mind Trick Dooku. And, well, yeah. It's just, you Mind Trick Dooku, I mean, well, what's he supposed to do? 3 dodges, you have Defensive Rush, he tries to, spam you with Duelist, you have damage reduction while pushing, you push him, he might block, but, yeah, Lightning Stun. Honestly, the only time someone's going to use Defensive Rush against a Dooku is if they're Mind Tricked, so other than that, I don't think you'll ever be, Lightning Stun by a Dooku, if you're careful. And as everyone, you always have to be careful, so. You know. And Count Dooku, probably my favourite character Count Dooku is. Now, Count Dooku, counters Luke, he has low regen, Dooku has high damage. Dooku and Rey, pretty even between the two. I might give the edge to Dooku though. He can just output damage in a quicker time. Rey does have a combo. Like, does have some combos with her dash strike, which can make it, like, really good. But Dooku can do that more, and at any given period. He doesn't need that dash strike. I mean, sure, he needs Duelist and Exposed Weakness, but there's 2 abilities, and they get the same result. You know, more damage. Duelist, okay, sure, it increases swing speed, and Exposed Weakness doesn't, but there's still more damage on the opponent. And Exposed Weakness, it slows them down, so if you want to recover stamina, just pop Exposed Weakness on them and just dodge back. So, yeah, I give the edge to Dooku. Dooku counters Yoda hard, not as hard as Yoda countering Kylo, but still, Dooku counters Yoda hard. Just fastest attacks in the game, slowest attacks in the game. That's all I need to say. Obi-Wan and Dooku, I'd say Obi-Wan. You know, just as long as you watch your back, be careful. That third dodge and how he's getting behind you. I'd say Obi-Wan counts Dooku. Anakin. Anakin, highest attack damage, base attack damage in the game. I'd say I don't think he does count as Vader. No one really counts as Vader other than Obi-Wan. Because, you know, he's very powerful, but he runs out very quick. I mean, sure, it's one, you just jump up in the air and he comes back, but that one jump, it can be very crucial. You know, what if it's a Maul? What if Maul just chokes you up into the air? And, yeah, he could frame trap you. He could hit you with the lightsaber, jump up to you, finish you off, and that'd be it. You know, you don't want that. So, Anakin versus Vader. Vader has more defensive stamina. Vader has nearly as much defensive stamina as Obi-Wan, actually. So that's bad. That is very bad for Anakin. I mean, Anakin has Passionate Strike. He can put up some good combos. But against the Vader, you know, when Vader throws his lightsaber, he's anchored. But Maul isn't. When Maul throws his lightsaber, he's not anchored. But Vader, he is. The same as when Vader does his choke, you know. He's still anchored, focused rage, he's still anchored. All of his abilities anchor Vader to the ground, which makes him even more stronger. Maul's spin attack doesn't anchor to the ground. Chokehold, sure, it anchors him, you know, but he can still take the damage from it. And the lightsaber throw, it doesn't anchor him to the ground, and he just, yeah. That's why Maul, you know, is a lot more weaker than Darth Vader. Because all of Vader's abilities, they anchor him to the ground, and that's what makes him so good. You know, he's never really vulnerable. You just got to keep chipping away at his health. Even with Luke or Anakin, the strongest attackers, you still got to chip away at him. So Anakin doesn't really count as Vader, no. Anakin, I'd say he's slightly count as Kylo. You know, I mean, Kylo, he's all about versatility. You jump, you pull. You jump, you freeze. His frenzy, Anakin can just heroic might. He falls onto the ground, he gets pulled, he gets hit twice, maybe even passionate striked, and then rest in peace, Kylo. Anakin and Maul. It could go either way. You know, Maul has a lot of damage, a lot of stamina, and he can just keep on attacking Anakin, and Anakin's, you know, below average stamina is just, yeah. If he has no abilities, he's done. He's completely done for. You know, I don't know what more else you want, but Maul, let's say he throws a lightsaber, Anakin pulls him, heroic mights him, hits him twice, dodges, passionate strike, and yeah, Maul's just lost so much health. Okay? So, pretty even between the two. Grievous and Anakin. I'd say Grievous wins. Because Grievous' stamina, you know, massive strikes, it's still a lot. It's 25% of his stamina gone. Same with Sith Train, but Dooku's, Grievous' stamina is just a lot better. With, you know, the stamina drain than Anakin's. Oh, Jesus. So, honestly, I wouldn't recommend having massive strikes. I just do it, I make my hits count. You know, attraction, I might use that instead of massive strikes, but, you know. So, Anakin gets countered, probably by Grievous. I mean, Anakin's low stamina, he's vulnerable to Grievous' thrust surge, where he can just bunny half, claw rush, and then Anakin's toast, he's done for. Dooku, it's very one-sided. Dooku has a lot of swing speed, and it can just melt through Anakin's stamina. Absolutely. And once that's done, you know, Dooku still has some stamina left. It comes back, you know, it comes back. Anakin's does as well, but not as fast as Dooku's. Dooku can easily just lightning stun, and like some of his stamina's back, and he can just capitalize immediately on that. Anakin tries to run away, expose weakness, and yeah, Dooku counters Anakin very, very hard. I'd say that's like the third worst odds in the game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any more tips, let